Provo Beast here doing another install today. Now the wiring kit we decided to use for our amplifier install on the Dodge Avenger was the SoundQuest 4-gauge amp kit. Comes with RCA, speaker wire, power, ground, remote turn on wire, all your connections, and your fuse and fuse holder. So good little kit. We're going to use this for our bass amplifier install. Alright, in preparation for running all our cables for our amplifier in the rear of the trunk, I'm kind of preparing the wiring that's running. Now, what's not included in this bundle is the power wire, because that'll be run on the opposite driver's side of the vehicle. This is from our radio down this side of the vehicle to the trunk area. What I have included here are RCAs for our amplifier. And the one that you'll be concerned about is the remote turn on wire. It's that single guy right there. That triggers the amp to turn on. Typically, if you have an aftermarket radio, this will plug into the blue/white wire. If you don't have an aftermarket radio, and it's the factory radio, you'll probably want to tap into the cigarette lighter positive, which is a good way to trigger your amps to turn on when the car is on. And we're also running a 2-channel amplifier for our front door speakers, hence why we have a couple of pairs of speaker wire there. This is just simply for a subwoofer install. If you have any questions about running a 2-channel, just go ahead and post a comment below. The yellow wire here is for a backup camera. Go ahead and check out that video. It's down in the description as well. So, got our bundle all together. I taped it about a foot or so all the way down. I'm going to run it from our dash cavity up underneath the glove box and work our way down this side of the vehicle to the rear of the trunk. Alright, so here are our cables. Our RCA cables for your amplifier signal, a remote turn on wire to trigger the amp to turn on. You can pop the glove box down, and to do so you just bend the clips in and this will open all the way down. And I've run all the cabling just right there along the factory wiring so it won't get in the way of the glove box. As it comes down here, I pulled out this kick panel. The way to do so, this little kick here comes off just with clips. Pop that on off. And then this corner kick panel also comes off with just clips. As it comes on out just like that. And then we're going to run this up underneath the carpet, working our way back to the rear trunk area. Alright, so as you can see here, just tuck that wire all the way down. Then you can pop this little clip up, just continue to tuck it. This B-pillar cover can come off, you just kind of get behind it. It's with clips. Also, it just pops out, giving you plenty of space. We are out at this point. We're going to tuck it up underneath the carpet, just following the factory wiring here. Our plan is to mount our amplifiers on the back seat. Just a good, solid, flat spot. We're going to go ahead, so we're going to run our wiring up underneath the back seat and come up right about there. Alright, at this point, put my panels back together. Panels all good to go, and pull the wires out through here. Now the way I did that is the seat actually comes up if you give it a good tug, and you can see I ran the wires right under there. So, I have all my cabling besides the power and ground to this location for our amplifiers. Alright, at this point we're going to go ahead and get our radio all put back in. I'm going to get our wiring all hooked up. Our RCA cables for our bass amp will plug into the subwoofer output, but our bass amp RCAs are remote turn on wire, which plugs into the blue and white wire on the back here. And I've already made that ready and accessible. I just extended that blue and white wire, so that'll plug in there. And that should be it. So we got our amp mounted. We have our RCA cables, our base RCA cables from our radio. They're going to plug into the input. And we have our remote turn on wire, which will trigger the amp to turn on when the key is on and the radio's on. So we're going to go ahead and get those all hooked up. Now the next thing here in this video, we're going to go ahead and show you how to run the power wire from the battery which unfortunately in this case it's in the bumper, but we'll show you the best way to run that. Power wire from that area all the way to the back to the amplifier. Okay, at this point it's time to start running the power wire from the battery area to the trunk area. Now, if you've already noticed, way down in there's the battery. It's actually inside the bumper. So, a couple of options for you. You can actually take the wheel off, pull out the wheel well cover and access the battery from that point, or you can go to this power access point. Now, looking here, this is about a 4-gauge wire going down to the battery and also coming from our alternator. We took our cover off. So we can use this as our power access point. I'm actually planning on doing a big 3 on this, upgrading the power wire from there to this power distribution area. And then that will certainly help with voltage and amperage pulls. But at this point, we're going to use that as our power point, running our power wire from here to our amplifier. All right, so what we've done here is to get firewall access. Let me show you exactly where to go through to run the power wire. Up underneath here, there's going to be a little cover. Pull that cover down, and then there's a big rubber grommet. I just poked a little hole through. You can cut it with a small blade or knife and pull your wire through. If you struggle to pull the wire through from that area, you can use a little coat hanger to fish it through. But basically, as it works its way down, that's where my fuse holders are going to go. And then from there, we're going to go to this distribution area. So at this point, we've got our wire through. We still just got to wire from our 2 positive posts to our distribution area. Now this little panel comes off. There's a clip here and a clip here on the actual panel itself. Pop those out. The whole panel comes free and allows you to now tuck this wire up underneath the panel. You have to pop this guy out, but run this cable, and what we're going to do is run this cable all the way along to the rear of our amps. All right, so just up underneath the carpet, this panel just pops out with clips. So you can, just so you can fish it through. And I just tucked it all the way underneath the carpet. It comes out here. This panel pops off, and so does this. They're all clips, super easy to pull off. And at this point now, I'm going to run it up underneath the seat, which just pops out. We're going to work our way to our amplifiers. All right, I finished up here in the engine bay. So I got our fuses all put in place. It's up to you the best place to kind of mount them. I just hooked them to wiring so they're all secured. Went to this battery terminal. It's our little distribution block. Now this part is totally optional to you, but I actually upgraded my alternator wire, and I added an extra 4-gauge. It also goes to that block to help with amperage. Since I'm not going directly to the battery, I want to make sure there's enough amperage for both of my amplifiers. If you have just 1 amp, you're probably not pulling that much. This is, again, totally optional step, and if you're going this far, you can also upgrade the engine ground as well as the battery ground. Really a big 3 upgrade. Again, optional. At this point, our amplifier fuses go up. We went right in there. It's nice and tight. We'll put our cap back on. We'll put our negative back on once I show you how to do the grounds. All right, here we are with the amplifiers. We got our power wires all hooked in, and then our grounds are our dark ones. I still got to zip tie and clean up some wiring, but I fed them up underneath the seats. And as you can see, I cleaned the paint with a wire brush on the body, as well as the seat belt bracket on both sides. So there is perfect continuity. Really no resistance for that ground. It's all bolted down and nice and clean and good to go. Disregard the dirt here. That's this is a new car to the customer, so it's probably from the previous owner. Okay, so at this point we're safe to put the negative back on the battery, and start cleaning up some wiring. Alright, went ahead and got the box all hooked up for the sub. We got everything all good to go. So at this point we just need a little test. Alright, so at this point let's go ahead and do a little test for you. Everything's all put back together. And like I said, go ahead and check out my first video of how we put in this radio. I will go ahead and post a link in the description for you. Here we are, a little bit of journey. Nice thing is, then we got the bass knob here. We're using the epicenter. You may hear distortion. Cool, there we are. If you have any questions about this install, go ahead and post a comment below. Thanks guys for watching the channel, and remember this was really a how-to on how to install an amplifier. Now this could be whether it's a 2-channel or bass amp or whatnot. This hopefully gave you some insight of how to run the wires properly and get everything set up for a clean install. Again, thanks for watching, and go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.